in Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41, brought to the United States to Moulton, Alabama, Lawrence County in 1941. Did I say that? I was born in 39. I'm lucky to be able to talk this morning, but I've tried to put this up on YouTube and the social media, so I won't go into that again. It's on there, what's being done to me. I was brought to the home of these people. That's me in the middle there, the little one. That's in 43, so I must have been about 4 years old or so. Lana had twins, and they didn't have cars, by the way. This is a glossed-up picture. It was a pigsty, and they covered it up. She had twins out of wedlock, Carl, Preston, Dempsey, I can hardly talk, and Peggy Ann Dempsey, and that's the name they gave me. She had killed both of them. And I've put in here before how the girl, Peggy, was killed. So anyway, and the family covered it up, and in 1985, I guess, yeah, I still had the car furnished to me by Larry Flint, and I had this endorsement, so yeah, it was 84, late 84 or early 85. That one I just showed you is Annie Carter, Annie Dempsey Carter. She was married to Ezra Carter. She was a teacher at Lexington Military outside their academy, I believe. And they lived in Carlisle. And I'll say this without going through it. I went back the second time, and at that time I'd been dumped down the street again in 85. Side of the road. I had no car, no income, no nothing. My jobs were blocked, had been. So the difference in how I was treated was that Annie, when I came there in the Aries car, brand new one, leased by Hustler, with this endorsement that says I know who shot him and all that, very good endorsement, she felt I had some backup. And they were really cruel to me anyway. But when I went back the second time, it was a whole different situation. The car was gone, and so much had been done to me. And I'm walking on the side of the road again from town to town, being made to look like, well, you can understand what they're doing to me. Like a Brit said, the only ones that's told the truth in this, they framed you. And I look back at my father, and they framed him. So about the only reason I was going to put this on, I can hardly talk because, well, I know what's happened. And there was no misunderstanding in any of it. So really, I found out about my kidnapping in 83, and I was flown out to Larry Flint's. I'd done a medical malpractice book, MD, A License to Kill. I was living at Moonraker Apartment, which was owned by the Mormon church there, and prior it was Penthouse Magazine. And there is a portion of this, because the plane went down when I contacted them, Playboy, because I couldn't get my book published. I was writing a medical malpractice. It was about mind control, about programming people, modifying their behavior, and you can program them to do anything. And this whole lie of you can't make people do what they don't want to do, that's exactly it, a myth and the lie that has allowed all this to go on. And you can Google it, MK Ultra, all of it. Anyway, the government agencies, and now the corporations can use it. So, hello. People get mad at me, really. I'm British. My mother was an American, Georgia O'Keeffe's sister. I don't have a picture of my mom. My mom was a school teacher. She was American. So, you know, you tell the truth about the Americans, and they go around like they're the good guys, and they're handing out money, and that's not all they handed out to Africa. But I put that up, and I'm suffering, and I don't doubt that they would have done this to me anyway. I've been in hell since they kidnapped me in age 2, and I probably will be till the day I die. And that can't be awfully long because I'm 76 years old. Anyway, what I really wanted to put in here was it's when people commit crimes, and there's always a positive and a negative. They say there's two sides to the coin. Well, there is. There can be a total lie and a total truth. I haven't lied. I can't even get the mess up on YouTube or social media because the law doesn't work for me. They're part of what's going on from high up being done to me. What's being done, I'm going to say this now. I've been telling about the mind control. You can take down planes. You can program the pilot, or the engineer. They can program anybody. They can mass program armies now. So look at the power they have here. Edward Snowden was exiled to Russia that took him for telling the truth, and he just touched the tip of the iceberg. So I'm just going to show this where Mr. Flint said that I knew who was responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville, March 6, 78, and I'm doing the book in Marietta. And I don't know if, anyway, the person was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. And so later when Larry McDonald, the plane he was on, the KAO, was shot down by the Russians because it veered into their airspace, Larry McDonald was on the plane. He was a doctor, yes, congressman, doctor from Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta. And he was one of them that I'd written about. And I ran in the campaign and was flown out to Mr. Flint's. And I'm afraid I got sidetracked and didn't say that much about the connection to, it was Penthouse that owned the apartments. Prior to when I moved in, and Mormon Church owned it when I moved in. I moved in I believe, May of 77 and 78, or 78. No, I was there when Flint was shot. Anyway, I was there during that period of time and moved into Laurelwood apartments just up the street. And there's a point to me telling the names of where I moved. Okay. All this involves timelines and names, and these murders that I speak of were done in patterns, and they can be proven. So you think that at a point maybe the agency that's doing it would, since they're still doing it, would tell the truth about it. That was the intent. But that's a long time ago when times have changed. And I want to get this in before this goes off. It's about to. The train that just derailed, they're saying that it had projectiles thrown at it. And what happened to the engineer is he's programmed, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to make that statement because I know it's done it. This has been done in patterns. And they can erase his memory. Oh, God knows people want to tune it out. And when they find out that, like Timothy McVeigh was sent to death row, and nobody seems to care about it, he was programmed. He even told people that the U.S. military put a chip up the bottom of him. And I know one person that I grew up with, and I'm not going to mention it anymore. I never meant him any harm. I'm the one that sheltered him growing up. I know the day and the doctor and everything that put a chip in a root canal of his, and his total, I didn't know then anything about root canals. It was 64, I guess. And his total attitude changed. He was never the same. So I've said that about the train and planes. They do that too. The German Lufthansa was one of them, and that young man is dead, but his history would be a lie about him, just like it was about my father. My father was illegally taken down by Elizabeth. I had a picture of dear Elizabeth here, by Elizabeth's father, George, illegal George the Sixth. Look at her brood. They live it on my money, and you should see what's been done to me, not just the lifestyle I've led and my sons. I don't even know where they are, Mark and Scott, but what's been done to me. And people think this is a nice woman.